Welcome to another episode. In this episode, we'll see a common performance issue which you might be facing on the laptop. Particularly if the laptop is little old, maybe 3 years plus, there'll be performance degradation. For sure, you'll be facing it. So there are few options which you could do, but end of it, there is one option that is which is the resetting the machine, which basically it's a reinstall of the Windows operating system. That is what we are going to see. This option, again, this option was available only from Windows 10. Windows 8 did have, but yeah, Windows 10 offers much more flexible options like retaining the data files. So those options are there with Windows 10. So now with Windows 10 common over 4-5 years now, so basically, like if you are in Windows 10, you might face this issue. Generally, people, what they tend to do is after 4 years they will replace the laptop because of slowness. I would rather recommend you could try this approach of resetting your laptop to the factory edition or the factory whenever you got the laptop about 3+ years back. So same, it can revert to that same position so that your performance is definitely, in fact, my laptop, the same laptop on which I'm recording, is about 3.5 years, more than 3.5 years old, and definitely the performance, there was a degradation of performance, and I performed the reset couple of days back, and it is this looks perfectly right, though you can't compare as quick as what I had purchased about 3-4 years back, but definitely far better than 3-4 days before when I didn't have the reset perform. So let me quickly tell you what needs to be done with the reset option. So before that, we'll see the performance. Whenever you have a performance issue with the laptop, the first thing you need to check is if your hardware, maybe the RAM, whatever, if you're 8 GB, or then yes, the RAM is only just 4 GB is working, then it is definitely going to slow down your process. CPU, hard disk, either one of them have problems, it is definitely going to slow down the performance of the laptop. So do a performance check. So all the whether it is Dell, whether it is HP, all of them have you can do a self check of all the hardware available. Ensure that all of them, if it is all of them is working well, then this is the option. So ensure, that's the first step. Ensure all the hardwares are working fine, and if it is working fine, if your Windows is also booting, and but it is far slow, whether it is browsing or going into the Windows Explorer, it is taking time, yes, then I would recommend to check with this option. So computer is 3+ years old on Windows 10 OS. So what you need to do is try to reset computer to factory setting. Again, there is an option. You can keep the files intact in the drive, but I would recommend at least take a backup with the external hard disk, at least the files which you feel which are important. So because the reset process takes hours, we can't, I mean, it's difficult to, I'm not sure whether the Microsoft guarantees this, so better always to take a backup of all the important data. And this one, the entire process takes about 4 to 8 hours time. So this is one thing you need to keep in mind. So better you start early in a day on a weekend, so that you have, there could be some interaction now and then. So it takes about 4 to 8 hours. Most of them it will automatically run, but in case if you need to feed some information, yes, it's better to have sufficient time for that. You can allow it to run overnight after a certain step, that is while installation you can allow it to run overnight, but otherwise, yeah, It's going to take 4 to 8 hours generally, and again that depends on the many conditions like your machine condition, the performance of the hardware, because anyway your machine is pretty old as well. But definitely you can try this, and if it is still going to be slow, then yes, you can replace the machine. Otherwise, reset. I've seen, and in fact I've done to the machine, and it is perfectly working fine. It's at the manageable speed. So how do we go about? Go to the Windows Start button, Settings, and then Update Security. In the once the security, once settings open, Update Security you need to choose, and then come over to there is one option like where if you see this screen opens up, and this is under recovery. Recovery is there. Under recovery, reset this PC. You will see if your PC isn't running well, resetting might help. This lets you to choose your personal files or remove them. This is important. You can keep the personal files with them, and in case if you are selling it off, then yes, probably you can give the clean machine to them. So personal file you can still retain. So I have done, I retain all the personal file, but even though I did take some of the backups as well, a certain file, important file backup I took, and then progress with that. So click on reset this PC. That's the first step. And once you do that, it'll ask you for whether to keep my files or to remove everything blank. So better, I mean, if you want to use a machine, you can keep my files. You don't need to remove them. Both, I don't see any much different unless you're going to sell it off your laptop. Yes, then it's better to remove all of them. So keep my files, you choose that. So the first option. So once you choose that, it will start getting things ready. Will come. This takes about 10 minutes, and then where do you want to install from? That screen will from cloud download. It will get connect to the Microsoft website and downloads this, or local install. From the local install itself, it will perform. So I've chose local install, which is better because cloud download depends on the your internet speed, and it takes about 4 GB data. So that's going to take time. So I would suggest that local install is better, and I did that with the local install. But for local install, at least I think if Windows is working fine, it is slow, yes, you could choose the local install option. I took that, and once you do that, it gives the additional what you're going to do. Restore apps to setting, came with the PC, reinstall the Windows from the device. So it's going to perform a reinstallation. So that will emulate all the kind of if you have some over the period of time some fragmentation or something happened, yes, the reinstall is the better option. So once you do that, it will give additional option what it is going to do. Ready to reset this PC, change the setting, keep personal file, reinstall Windows from this device, remove all apps, programs. So what you need to do is, yes, if you're having Office 365, that needs to be reinstalled. Your if you have any virus program, that needs to be installed. So once you reset, just remember to again reinstall your antivirus program as well as the Office. So ready to reset, and reset. Once you do the reset button, first step is preparing for reset. It goes through the percentage, will show you. This takes about 1 to 2 hours, this one resetting process, preparing, and then reset will happen. You'll have the percentage marker which will show you how long it takes. Generally this took about 1 to 2 hours, and post finishing that is what is the installation of Windows happens. That is a long run process. It takes about 4 to 6 hours. It's a long running process. It takes about anywhere between 4 to 6 or even upward to that, depending upon your hardware devices and how long you have been using it. So you need to have patience. So particularly in my case, like I had issues like 1%, 12%, those point of time, it was taking more time, particularly 88%. It was taking more than a couple of hours it took. And I was a little bit worried whether I need to do something, restart the machine. All that is not required. I mean, what I would suggest is if you're taking too long time, let it run over time, maybe allow it even up to 12 hours. So overnight, you can allow it to run overnight if required. So after this, all the reinstallation is done, it will automatically boot. So one thing you need to do is you need to have patience. That is where I said like it's going to take anywhere between totally right from the start. It can take about 4 to 8 hours. This process of reinstallation itself was taking close to, in my case, it was taking 6 hours. And various point of time it is taking a much longer time, like 1% and 12%, 54 and 88%. Once it is done, it will reboot and your Windows login screen comes, and after that, once you log in, also some it needs to perform some action, but that doesn't take a long time. Just after 15 to 20 minutes, the machine comes live. You have the Windows install done, but only thing is you will not have most of the other software which you have installed later. All those will not be there. Even the antivirus will not be there. So ensure to activate the antivirus first thing, and post that if you have MS Office or your all the office related files, so that needs to be MS Office in the sense the Word document, then PowerPoint, those will not be there. You need to perform a reinstall. If you have a license, you need to reinstall. So in a way, I was quite satisfied after performing doing on my own, performing the reinstallation of Windows 10 version through the reset option. So I would recommend, like, yeah, after 3 years, give it a try. If it solves the purpose, yeah, probably you can use the machine for some more time, then probably you can replace it. Hope you found this presentation useful. Thanks, and do subscribe to my channel, and in case if you face any challenges, yeah, please send me a note. I'll try to troubleshoot for you as well. Thank you.